Okay, we welcome guys. This is our Work It Wednesday. We've already been on for an hour chatting, so you missed out on that good hour of goodness. But we decided to record a couple of reasons. One, we want you to see the value in these Work It Wednesdays that we do every Wednesdays. Typically, it is directors and above that we do this and open it up to directors and above within our teams. But since we are going through this whole ordeal of working from home, social distancing, we are going to open it up for everyone. So we're going to record this today. And we really got on the topic of social media, and we have the social media guru on with us today, Jilly Sue McCarthy, Superstar Director down in Florida. So we are going to let her take the reins, and then we are going to ask questions. And oh, yes, you will, Brandy, will be Director by summer, absolutely. So we're going to let Jill just kind of take it off and tell you what the importance is, why you should be spending time that you're quarantined in your home doing social media, taking advantage of this, the do's and don'ts, and how to maximize what we need to know. All right, take it away, Jill.
Cool. So this is very impromptu. I have no notes. It's just going to be based on what we started talking about before, which was, let me start with what you should have and why. So first of all, when I worked for a large corporation, and when MySpace popped out, they were the head of the curve, and they were like, you need to learn this stuff. And I was handling all of their compliance. I was executive director. And so I was auditing every time we do a procedure, and if it was worth it. You know, a lot of times we'll do things and we keep doing them and we don't really know why, but it's something that we did in 1918 and we keep doing it in 2020 because it's what we've always done, which is the worst thing to say. You know, you need to know why, and is it productive? So I handled all of that. Social media started popping up and they're like, we want you to learn this. And I was like, great, I'm getting a raise. They're like, no, we want you to learn this on top of everything you already do. But what I didn't know is they were going to hook me up with some of the best in the social media world. And I started being mentored by people that were marketing gurus that were doing this stuff full on, full force, learning anything that came their way. And then in 2007, 8, Facebook started popping up. So, and why I got into it more and more is because I was in a really bad relationship and I couldn't do my business the traditional way. Now, remember back in 2009, people were like, you can't run it. You can't connect with people online. There's no way. It's not as good as hosting a home party. You'll never be able to build relationships that way. And my mentality was, I remember the day that AOL popped up and there was chat, right? And I was thinking, we can chat with someone that's in another state. Like I can see them typing. Like that was crazy to me because I've always been a fan of texting conversations if you're good at it. You know, a lot of times texting conversations are read 5 times more harsh, something to remember, than what we actually mean. I just had a conversation this morning of someone that read something on our team page and I was like, I went back and read it again, and I think this is what she meant. So quickly, conversations can turn bad or rogue if you really don't step back and say, okay, maybe this is what the person meant. So online marketing is like a ball of all of that. In learning all this stuff, I tried to be everywhere. YouTube, Facebook, Periscope, like Instagram when that popped up, Snapchat. Like I was trying to be everywhere. And I've learned over the course of learning all this stuff that rather to dabble in every platform, be in a couple of places really good. Like if you love editing video and you love the idea of YouTube and you love being on video, do YouTube. Now I love the idea of video because it's all how to. When we look up something, we're on YouTube, right? But I do not have the patience level, which I learned later. I was trying to learn things. And in the last 2 years, it's been really about what do I enjoy doing? Because if you don't enjoy doing it, guys, you're not going to stay consistent with it. And if you're not consistent with online marketing or online social relationships, you'll never keep up with it. And the thing that I tell my team time and time again is your team and your customers will mirror what you do. So if you disappear in times like this, whether you do parties online or offline, if you disappear, that's what your customers will do. More importantly, that's what your team will do. They will mirror exactly what you were doing, and you can look back on it time and time again. It's a lot of times when people say, I have a team page, but I hear crickets. Well, are you there every day going live, doing all the things that you need to do, or being active in your big group pages? Because it's not about having a team page just because you become a leader. Be in the place that's going to be most active, that's going to be most beneficial for your team. So, I mean, that's what a lot of us have done. A lot of us have had the conversations with our frontline and said, you know, I said to mine, I made the mistake of telling you to open a team page when you became a lead, because that's what I did. You know, I started doing team calls and all of these things when and hearing like, if you want to be a director, do the things that directors do. So I was like doing the calls and doing all this stuff, when in all actuality, I should have been pushing them to Becca and Callie, you know, and learning and kind of like, hey, I'm on this call, you should be too. It's not about just creating all of these things so that you're in control and you can say, hey, I'm the leader of this now. It's being in a place where your team and your customers can be the most active. So starting there, I would say to you this: if you have a team, which is one person or more, you know, guide them to the places. Don't reinvent the wheel. It doesn't mean you're a bad leader because you don't have your own team page. You know, be active in the places that are already up and going. I've had my frontline, we're all on my one big group page now, and I do not train my team when they become a lead to open their own team page. I will have the conversation when they're a director, but I will also have the conversation. There's power in a group of people together being really active. One, it's going to show your teams that you're there and you're active, and they don't get a kick to the gut when they try to open their team page and there's like crickets and nobody talking. So that was the first thing. And all of my directors now is like, oh my God, it's like a breath of fresh air. Because if I don't have something to post today, there's another leader, there's another director posting in there. And now we've really focused on, you know, the directors have focused on training our stars and superstars and training our directors, which a lot of time, you guys know as well as I do, when you become a director, there's no like formal director training, you know, you don't, you know, so now we've kind of created that, and we're allowing our stars and superstars to train the big group like directors in training. So that'd be the first thing, is to really look at your team pages and say, is there a better way of doing this? Am I hearing crickets? Is no one really active? Is my superstar director doing this and I should, you know, corral everyone together, rally them up and get them over there? And it'll take a lot of pressure off you too, because you're constantly trying to find things to post and figuring out what you're doing. And was that duplicated? Was that duplicated? Was that duplicated? So team pages and group pages and how you have that all laid out for a flow would be the first thing that I would look at, because that's going to take a lot of pressure off you. And it'll allow you guys to kind of rally together and everyone post stuff, everyone work together, and you're not constantly like, what should I post to my team page? And no one's even active over there. The next thing that I would say is, again, what platforms do you love? Where do you love to be? Where are your customers? You know, if you love YouTube and you love editing video and doing all the things, then go to it 150%. And do YouTube parties. There's a million ways you can do this stuff. Go to town. I was trying to put out YouTube content every now and then. I'll post something, but I know that the best videos on YouTube are edited, and I like to put out a 5-star product. I know that they are, you know, a lot of times there's plenty of people that have done really well on YouTube just putting out a video straight. But for me, if I'm going to be on a platform, I want it to be 5-star edited, have an intro of an extra. So I'm hard on myself. I could have just posted content, but I wasn't being consistent on there because I told myself, I don't even like to do YouTube. Like, it's not fun for me. Snapchat's kind of random. You can't really tell where people are coming from and having conversations. You know, when Periscope popped up, it was the first thing for live streaming, and I gravitated to that. I loved it. But now 2017, 18, 19, my focus has been on Facebook. One, because I believe you need to be on Facebook. It's the first place that everyone looks to see who you are, what you're doing, what you've done, what you've achieved, you know, how long you've been with a company. And I love Instagram stories. Why? Because I do love live video, and I love the idea of showing your face and showing up, because people can't invest in you if you're not somewhere. And Instagram stories allows you to do quick snippets of your daily life, letting people in, because that's what matters, right? You know, I'm here to tell you guys, if you haven't heard, marketing flyers do not work. You know, I would rather someone ask someone to borrow a picture of a product in someone else's house than to post a marketing flyer. Because if you post a marketing flyer with a picture of 3 bars and say, these smell amazing, they're 3 for $17, whatever it is now, no one's going to feel any emotional connection to that. There's something that happens with a consultant that they feel that if they don't post a marketing flyer, which you guys ask yourself what you do when you open your mailbox and you get a flyer for Kohl's or any company. If it's not a catalog, it goes in the trash. And the only reason that I keep a catalog is because I'm thinking on my downtime, I love to sit outside in the sun. I'm in South Florida and just flip through catalogs, flip through outdoor decor stuff. But if it's a paper flyer, if it's a paper marketing flyer, it goes in the trash. And I ask myself, why can't there be a spam mailbox where I could just dump that in the trash every day? Because I'm not going to look at it. A marketing flyer on social media is the same way. I want you guys to do a test. Scroll through Facebook or Instagram and ask yourself if you ever stop on a marketing flyer. If you see a mascara or something from another, you don't stop. You're not like, this invokes emotion in me. It does nothing but makes you feel icky and spammy, and they're selling something and I don't want to do that. But if you scroll through and you test yourself and see what you stop on, it's usually a picture inside someone's house, or babies or kittens or puppies, or you cleaning something, or a little video, or you dropping wax in a warmer. Like, people are stopping on that stuff. So you have to get out of your own head where you think if we have a promo, if you post a marketing flyer, you're going to get this influx of people that say, I need that because that marketing flyer just popped up. You need to bring people into your world. So it's one, why I loved Facebook, and two, why I love Instagram stories, because I can put out fast, quick content about random things going on in my life. And that's how I know people will connect with me. You know, it's not just going to be about that I sell wax and warmers and that I have an at-home business. It's that the adversity that I've gone through, or when I was in Target the other day, or my puppies, or boss tips, or if you go through my Instagram account, you'll see all the different categories of things that I either talk about or share. And that's what keeps people coming back. If I go through my number one highlights, it's not warmers and wax and what I'm selling and join my team. That's an after effect of me sharing all of the other things, what I find in Target, how I decorate my house, my Christmas party that we had. All of those things make people believe or think that they are a real part of my life because they know what my house looks like. They know when we've gone car shopping. They know when I've been sick. They know all of these things, and they decide, I like this girl. She's like me. I can connect with her. So, hey, what's this Scentsy thing she does? How is she home during this coronavirus? Like, what is she doing? Why can't I do that? But just posting things for sale is never going to work. You're never going to get one person that's like, hey, for the last 8 years, you've been posting a marketing flyer, and now I'm feeling connected to you. Now I'm feeling like I need to join your team. Now, it could be 8 years of you doing stuff, like making samples, doing all the things. That works, but marketing flyers do not. So that's the first thing that I would tell you guys, is decide what you enjoy doing. Now, some people constantly say that they don't like social media because it feels like a waste of time. Well, that mentality is usually because you're posting marketing flyers, or you don't know what to post, and you haven't entered into the world of, I just need to share my life. That's what social media is. And that can be uncomfortable for people. Like it truly can. You can't even imagine saying when, you know, you're going through adversity, or you're going on a trip, or you know, and there can be boundaries. If you don't want to ever show your kids, there's tons of people on social media, successful influencers, and that's what we all are if you're online, whether you have 1 follower or 100,000 followers. There's a ton of successful influencers that never show their kids, their husbands don't want anything to do with it, like, you know, whatever you choose, whatever your boundaries are, that's fine. You just need to create those boundaries, and then as you get more comfortable, maybe you get to decide. That's the cool thing about social media. But you have to be willing to go beyond just, I'm selling this, join my team, because you'll never get the connection the other way. So like, where am I? What platforms do I love? I still have content on YouTube that's been there. That's the cool thing about YouTube, is it stays there and people can constantly get on there. So if you do live videos, you can download them and upload them to YouTube. All content is, it can be shared among all the platforms, just how in depth you want to get. Pinterest, I'm constantly getting ideas on what to share on social media on Pinterest, and that lives forever. Content on Pinterest lives a long time. Reposting people's stuff, and then also posting your own if you have a blog or anything like that. Number 3 would be my blog. I need to get more consistent on that, and that's just random tips. But my 2 favorites, of course, are Facebook, where you all should be. And then my second is, I mean, that's not my favorite. Instagram is actually my absolute favorite, but I'm on Facebook because of a necessity, because that's where people go. And that's one thing you have to ask yourself. Do my customers go there? Is it active? Am I active? And then Instagram and Instagram stories is my absolute favorite, because I love snippets. I will lay in bed. People say Netflix and, you know, whatever is getting them through this, but I'm all about Instagram stories. I want to see what you're doing. I want to see your farm. I want to see your doggies. I want to see what your kids are doing in this crazy time. Like, I could cable could go out, or whatever the heck we have. I don't know if Rob sets that all up. So Hulu, Netflix, but if I lost Instagram stories, I would be so incredibly bored, because I'd rather see, you know, there's reality TV, then there's real life. And that's Instagram stories for me, because I can click through everybody. There's tons of content and ideas and things people are doing, things people are going through. And I find it fascinating. As far as Facebook, you guys, this is where we started this conversation. And so the 3 places that I tell my team that you need to be on Facebook is, of course, your personal page, a business page, because a business page, the goal of a business, your personal page is your house, right? This is where you're going to invite your family and friends, and they can see all of what you're doing. That's your house. You don't need to accept every friend request. Would you let everyone that you don't know into your house? So just because they say they're a Scentsy consultant, you don't need to accept that friend request. The minute you accept that friend request, it means you're going to see their information in their feed, in your feed. So why would you want a bunch of people's information in your feed of people you don't know? So unless they send me a message or tell me where I met them, I must have 600 friend requests in there right now. I don't know these people, and I don't want a feed full of, I love all Scentsy consultants, but if I don't know you, I'm not going to have a conversation with you. You need to be strategic with what's in your feed and where you're spending time. Because if you just have a feed full of Scentsy consultants, guess what? They're not going to buy from you, and they're not going to join your team because they already have a business. So, if someone friend requests you, you can send them a message. Hey, how do I know you? Or whatever. But if someone's friend requesting me and they just see that I'm friends with 900 other Scentsy people, then they're not my friend. What is a friend? Facebook uses the term very loosely. I got more strategic with who are my friends and who are my family, because it all is what you're going to see in your feed. So your Facebook personal page is your house. Now your house has windows, right? That's why my personal page is public. Everything has the little globe that shows it's public. It means I have windows. You can see inside my house, but I'm not letting you in the door if I don't know you. And that just means that I'm going to see them in my feed. This is a great way for you to kind of put it in context so it makes more sense. They can see everything, and they can follow me. Everything that people see as a friend, they can see if they follow me. I just decide who's in my actual feed that I'm going to engage with. And that's a benefit for you guys. And some people say, well, I don't want my whole account public. Well, why not? If you want friends and family and people that are following you to see what you do and get interested in your business, you want your post public. You can decide if your kids or any of that, if you want it private, because you can determine who sees it, where the little people pop up and it's friends of friends, or if the one person pops up, it's just your friends. So you get to decide all of that. So mine is public. If I'm not friends with you on here right now, you can literally go to Jill S. McCarthy on Facebook and see all of my posts. I do that in case there's people that find me elsewhere and go, oh, I want to see her on Facebook. What does she do? What is the Scentsy thing? Then I believe that you should have a retail spot, which would be your business page. And your business page is to find new people across the globe, across everywhere. And it says, hey, I have a business. This is my retail store. It's searchable with Google. So if someone types in Scentsy in your town, your personal page won't pop up, but your business page will. So you want to have a business page because you want to tell people, hey, I have a business. This is my business. What do you post on a business page? Valuable content. Again, get away from marketing flyers. I post recipes I find. My whole thing is create your cozy. And cozy is what I feel when I think of Scentsy. When I turn on a warmer, when they're in my office, I feel cozy and warm. I love the fragrance. So creating your cozy for me is about your home, your business, and your being. So everything I post is within those 3 categories, because I want people to keep coming back and not just think that they're going to get me selling them something. I want them to know that they may get a recipe, or they may get a tip, or they may get a moving idea, or they may get a social media idea. They may get a vitamin idea. Like, they're going to get all of these different things. And then, hey, look at this. I'm squirting my new Squeeze the Day bundle. Squeeze the Day is in my head, so that's one I use for an example every single time. But then they might see that. And then because I've given them 8 pieces of content that they find valuable, they're going to trust me more when I say, hey, here's a Scentsy piece of content, and that may be my business, but I'm not just trying to sell you stuff. I'm trying to get you back here because I have other good ideas or things that I found that I want to share with you, which will help you create your cozy. So you can figure out like what your niche is or what you love to do. It could be knitting, Scentsy, and working out. Like, I just picked 3 categories. It could be 2. It could be all about mom life. A lot of people do mom life and building a business, and that's what they post about. But figure out what valuable content you're going to get outside of just selling. or sharing or whatever you want to call it. But if it's this, here's the thing. If you have a business page and it's Scentsy, join my team. Here's a product, here's a product, here's a product, here's a product. That is not valuable for people. That would be like standing at a car dealership 23 hours out of the day and not getting anything else but people coming up to you going, this car's for sale, this car's for sale, this car's for sale, this car's for sale. Hey, if you want to work here, this car's for sale. Like, does that kind of put it in perspective? Like, that's what people see on your business pages and stuff. You know, it's just like, stop putting Scentsy in my face. Let me decide if I would want this stuff. And they're only going to decide if they trust you, and they're only going to trust you if you give them more value. So, I mean, it can be different ways to use Scentsy. I would pick some other stuff. I would make a list of all of the things that you either love to do or things that you can share, because you all have something to share. Every single one of you watching this has something that I know nothing about. It could be knitting, it could be skateboarding, it could be fitness, it could be cleaning, it could be decorating a tree, it could be working out, it could be keto, it could be a million things. But you have to believe that there's other people out there that find those topics interesting, and that's what you need to talk about. For me, it's organizing and social media and home decor. You know, I started doing all of my, way back when no one was really doing it, is I was doing my Facebook parties walking around my house, not just going, hey, we have a fragrance flower, isn't this cute? Like, I wanted them to be able to see how this fragrance flower is decorated in my house. So I would do 10 minutes of showing how stuff is styled back here. And then I would literally take my phone and start walking through my house. And they loved it, because people love to see behind the scenes. They want to see your messy office. They want to see your dogs barking. They want to see your kitchen a mess. They want to know that life isn't perfect and what you're doing back there. We're all so nosy by nature. You guys know as well as I do that we're all scanning through, you know, Instagram and Facebook and like loving to see people's offices. I mean, how many times, let me see your office, let me see your office, because people want to see, they want to get ideas. So that's your business page. So you have your house with your windows, you have your retail spot, which is your business page. And then you have what I call, we all get them. For me, it's DSW, the shoe store, or it could be your American Express Black Card, right? Which you have to spend $250,000 a year to get that card. But my Black Card group, I don't call it that, but that's what I think of as my VIP group. Those are your Black Card, big spender, Scentsy addict lover people. Those are your potential people who are going to join, and it's super exclusive. Like, a lot of you, you know, when LuLaRoe popped up, they were just adding tens of thousands of people to a VIP group. That's not a VIP group. That's a sales group. That's a peekaboo group. Like, I want to see what you have, but I don't know if I want to order yet. You know, so your VIP group should be your Black Card, roll out the red carpet, gold card, gets all the specials first, gets, you know, whatever it is. Those are the people that have purchased from you. Those are the people that you get exclusive permission to post everything and anything about Scentsy all day long, because you said, hey, I have a VIP group and you have purchased, and do you want to be added to it? Because in there, I put sneak peeks, and I have group chats where I may offer private shipping, or, you know, you can't post this, but in a message. A lot of times when I get new customers, I say, hey, thank you so much for your order. I want to be able to send you freebies and samples. Be sure you click this link to my VIP group, which goes back to Rebrandly, JillieSue.co VIP. I put the link right in the text. They click on it because I'm not tricking them, but I'm saying, hey, I'm going to send you a sample pack. I would have anyway, but I'm making them think to get that sample thank you pack that they have to click the link and get into my VIP group. That's how I get every person into my VIP group, because they want that thank you. I didn't say, hey, I was going to send this to you anyway, but I'll send it to you if you click the link. Like, everyone wants that extra something special. So they click the link. I have my VIP customer books. And one of the things in the book, as I move people through the system, is it says VIP. And when they're in my VIP group, I highlight it. So I will make it a goal once a month to go through my book and make sure that everybody's in my VIP group, because that's where I'm posting about Scentsy all the time. Those are the people that love it. Those are the people that have ordered. So I would have to say to all of you, if you have a bunch of people in your VIP group that have never ordered and you just kind of put them in there, or someone referred them in there, I would either clean it up, or I would send a message like, hey, I'm cleaning up my group. I'm making it exclusive. It's for purchasing customers. They're going to get the best of the best. Do you want to stay in here? You'll get a yes or a no. Put it in your head. It's not personal. You would rather have 10 paying customers than 1,000 crickets in there. because the 10 paying customers are who you need to roll out the red carpet for. They're the ones that are going to keep coming back. They're the hostesses. They're the ones that might join your team. They're the ones that are going to refer other people who spend money. So again, you have your house with your friends, right, that are inside. You have the windows on public so people can look and peek and see what you do. And then you have your business page looking for all the people all over the place. And then you have your VIP group. Now, what got started on this is people having a hard time posting their Scentsy website. And as I explained to these guys, here's why. There isn't 130,000 people, if you want to, you can, posting jillysue.com, right? If all of you were, it would get flagged as spam. So what's happening is your name isn't the distinction of what a spam site is, but that Scentsy.us 130,000 times every day, online, everywhere, is telling Facebook, this looks like spam. Or you guys know as well as I do, any network marketing, direct sales company has a little bit harder time because some companies, they can't post it at all. We're actually on, some of us get away with it, but we're on the cusp, like It Works can't post their link at all. There's a bunch of companies that Facebook completely blocks. So to do that, if you guys are trying to have Facebook parties and events and you're trying to post that link, you're going to want to either use a website shortener. And I heard that the free ones were even getting blocked, like Bitly, Google Shortener, any of those. A lot of those were even getting blocked because, again, it's bit.ly. And if 130,000 people are posting that, even if it's a different number at the end, it looks spammy. It also looks weird to a customer. Always think like a customer. Like if you see a link shortener, your first thing is, should I click on this? Like, right? We're always fearful of what's going to be on the other side of that link, fearful of spam, viruses, whatever the heck it's going to be. So you'd want to, and there is a learning curve in this, you'd want to get your own URL. I have jillysue.com, I have jillysue.co. I have a bunch of URLs I can use. You can buy that on GoDaddy or any website URL name. I think it's like $10 for the year. And then there's a couple ways of doing it. When you buy those, it will allow you to create pages, which would be jillysue.co/join. And I can link our join page to that. Like it'll let you do that. Or there's a website called Rebrandly, Rebrandly. And once you buy that URL, it will let you add it to the website, and then you can create pages. And there is a like if you follow directions and you're techie, you should have no problem. But even myself got stuck a few times. And there's some steps you can follow. We can probably cover it on one of these one day because it does get a little technical. But you can create as many links as you want. So for instance, if you go to jillysue.co shop, /shop, jillysue, jilleysue.co/shop, it will take you right to an active party. So when that is on all of my documents, all of my join brochures, my cards, all of that stuff, so that when people ask me for my website, they're automatically going to an active party. When that party closes, I just create a new party, link it back to that URL, and people are always buying in a party, which what does that do? It allows you guys to have mystery host, or you're collecting all those free and half price items, which is amazing. Or you can create a personal party link for all of your hosts that they keep no matter what. So let's say Callie wants a party with me. I can literally create jillysue.co/Callie. She has that forever. If one party closes, I just close it out, create a new party link, and add it to jillysue.co/Callie. Her name and my name, like, is easier to remember for any host, for any host, rather than party ID, blah, 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 Scentsy. Like, they're never going to remember that. They literally have to copy and paste it from somewhere. But if they're out talking to friends, it's so much easier for them to say, yeah, I'm having a party right now. It's jillysue.co/Callie. Simple. That's why I tell you guys, if you're buying URLs for yourself, rather than a cutesy pootsy name that no one's going to remember, which is the mistake that I made, use your name if you can get it. If you can get heathergorsuch.com, I mean, she's had Chicks with Bricks forever. So I say, if you have something forever, people know it, you've got a customer base, leave it. But if you can get your name, mine was jillmccarthy.com is actually either a photographer or a realtor, one of them. And Jilly Sue happened to be my, nickname forever and ever and ever. And my ex was like, you should brand jillysue.com. I was like, absolutely not. I was like, in my world, Jilly Sue sounded so, cartoony or funny, but it just fits with direct sales. Like, it just works because I'm a friendly face that people can get their Scentsy from. And it just kind of, even in social media, as I coach clients and I train people, they just remember it and they all start calling me that now. So if it fits, you don't want to recreate something. It's whatever your customers are doing, but you always have to think like a customer. You know, a lot of people want to pick Wickless this and Scentsy that, or scent with blah, 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 blah. Don't box yourself in, you know, use your name, because your name never goes away. God forbid, one sec, Juanita, God forbid, I always say this, if Scentsy closed tomorrow and you had to use heathergorsuch.com, you could, you know, if you had to start a new company or do whatever, like, it doesn't box you in to Wickless anything, scent with anything, home scent, blah, 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 blah. Like, I get they're cute and whatever. But you always want to put a name with a face. So if you're just starting out and you don't have something established, I always say, try to get your name or a variation of your name. How do you go about getting that website again? So you want to go to GoDaddy, and there's a search bar right at the top, and you're able to see if your name's available, or a variation of your name, or if you have a nickname, or you can, you know, something that people can easily remember, or you can slide a middle initial in there, and you're going to want to buy your own URL. Now, I have jillysue.com and jillysue.co, because I didn't want to create all those pages within my blog. If you don't have a blog, then just use your name. So you'd want to buy it. It's $10 a month, or you can get it for 2 years, whatever you want. I get it year at a time usually, and I just have it on automatic payment. And then you take the URL and you go to rebrandly.com. Once you get it and it's official, then you'll follow the directions of opening a Rebrandly account, and you can open as many links as you want. So for example, you guys, some of the links, if I go to my Rebrandly account right now, and I log in, you can log in through Facebook, whatever one you use, and it'll pull up all of my URLs. So here's the cool thing, you guys. I have like jillysue.co/Pooh and Friends. So when the Pooh characters came up and they were all on one page, I was able to go to my website, go to my open party, go to the Pooh and Friends page, copy that URL, add it to my Rebrandly. And so instead of putting that big old long link that no one would remember, I was able to get jillysue.co Pooh and Friends, and they could just click on that. Then you're never using the Scentsy.us anywhere. It's your own unique website. I also have jillysue.co/VIP, which links to my VIP group, jillysue.co/join, which is the join link. jillysue.co spring catalog takes them right to the spring catalog, fall catalog, harvest collection, holiday collection. Then I can have each individual host if I want. I have a link to new consultant videos. I have one to Tinkerbell when we had it, car clips, flower. You can do all of them once your URL is plugged into Rebrandly. So, I mean, that's a quick crash course on where, you know, if you don't like Instagram, the key with all of these, and even on a business page, is you have to be consistent. Like, this shouldn't be about like social media is a waste of my time. It should be about connecting and building those relationships. And more importantly than just posting, it's about engaging. I must spend 1 to 2 hours a day going through and not just clicking the heart on Instagram, but actually making a comment on people's accounts that I have things in common with. Now, what does that do? If you actually keep commenting on these people's accounts, oh, I love that, such a cute dress, oh my God, where did you get that? Like, commenting, they eventually see you. And there's nothing people like better than someone showing up and hanging out with them and showing support, right? So they follow you because you've built that connection. If some of these people have 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, 50,000 followers, they definitely click to see who those people follow. If your name falls in the following category, that's how people start following you. If you get too consumed, if you're consumed at all with only putting your content out there, social media is about give and take. So not only should you be posting your own content, you should be showing the love on other people's content. Like, there's tons of my followers who have actually started following people on my Instagram account because they see them show up and comment and write things and, you know, hang out with them. If you're not doing that part of it, like, your accounts will never pick up. Same thing as if you're posting on your business account in Facebook and you never go back to comment on the comments. It's like, people are standing right in your face and they're saying hi and you're just ignoring them. And no one likes to be ignored, even on social media. So like I said, to do the Rebrandly thing and make sure your links don't get taken, not taken, but blocked. There's a few little steps you have to take. It can be done. I highly suggest it. But and right now, guys, if Facebook's the only place you can be, if it's the only thing you can dedicate time to, be there. Once you kind of get it and you see that you can post the same things I do sometimes, like Instagram to my business page, but I want people to see different content, so I don't do it all the time. It's just like my blog. That's my weak link. I know I have a list of blog posts I could be doing, but it's my weak area because, again, I like quick and fast. That's why I love Instagram stories, because I can post quotes and snippets and I can talk a little bit and I can share where I'm going and I do all this stuff, and people get a VIP ticket into my life, and that's how they're going to connect with me. Something to remember, I hope that anything stays in your head, is if they don't see your face, they're never going to buy from you because they can't connect with you. They can't, if they don't see you, they're not going to purchase, especially if you're looking to get new customers. If you show up and people can take a vested interest in your life, whether it's what you're going through or what you're doing or how you're going through this whole situation, and being vulnerable and showing up is hard. But even if it's for 30 seconds a day, like, hey guys, good morning. Hope you're having a great day. It's warm here in South Florida. Today I'm going to be doing this, and this. I take the kids to school and I'm going to run this errand. I'll take you with me. Hey, like just showing them snippets of your life. That's what will make people say, hey, I like this girl. I want to see what she's doing today. Or, oh, she gave me this tip today. Or, oh, I've had people comment on the coffee that I drink and the stuff that I use and where I got my cup and what's in the background of my kitchen. You'll never be able to have those conversations if you're not showing up on video one way or the other, so that people can be like, it's the same. Social media is the same as it is in person. If you never have conversations with people in person, they'll never have a chance to say yes or no to you. Same thing online. If you don't show up online by showing your face, going live, doing snippets, posting, sharing your life, they won't have a chance to say yes or no. They'll just do nothing. Because if you think that people are just going to miraculously find your accounts and just start talking and want to buy from you, it just doesn't work that way. So that's a lot of information and probably half an hour. But if you guys have questions, I'm happy to answer any questions you have.
Jill, I really liked what you said about the VIP page. Because I've seen where consultants will say, oh, I put everybody into my VIP page. Yeah. And I've always had that thought that, well, that's not a VIP page then.
Right.
You're just dumping them in there.
Yeah, it's
so I really liked how you put that.
The issue is if they really think of, because people get hung up on numbers. It's total numbers thing, and they think if I have 1,000 people, that's more eyeballs. If they're not engaged with you, they're not seeing your post anyway. And so you would rather take care of 10 paying. I would rather have 10 people that I send something every single week and spend the money on them than try to figure out of 100 who I'm going to send stuff to or talk to, because they might buy from me. I've cleaned it up countless times. I let referrals in. If people have a referral and they want to check things out, I say you have 30 days. If you make a purchase within 30 days, you can stay. If not, you're gone. I make it exclusive because it doesn't make it special if you're just dumping everyone in there, hoping that they see your stuff. Facebook doesn't work that way.
Right.
Get caught, pay attention to that list in the background that shows you who's the most active on your VIP groups. Celebrate them, post their names and say, like, thank you guys for supporting my small business. I'm going to send you something in the mail. They don't know what it is, but I'll tell you what, if you've got 50 people in there, I earned Punta Cana when I had a VIP group for years and I only had like 20 people in there. I ended up adding 20 more long-term customers, and I earned Punta Cana for 2 with the 30 people that were in that group. Now it's up to 300, but every single person in there has made a purchase. They might have another consultant, they might have whatever. And I will say, like, if I go back and look at it and it's been 2 or 3 years since they made a purchase, I send them a message like, hey girl, I'm just cleaning up my VIP group. Do you want to stay in here? And then they say, yeah, of course. Okay. Did I send you a new catalog? Is there something you want to see? I may not send them a physical catalog, but I'll say, hey, take a look at the digital catalog. Here's a link. Check it out. Let me know if there's a couple cents you want a sample of. Like, rather than send, a $3 catalog in the mail, I'll send them a little sample and kind of strike up that conversation again. But if they've purchased from you, that gives you the like, okay, this is a list of all my people that have purchased. And these are the ones that I can literally lay in bed and text every single month or week. And I know they're going to respond back because they've made a purchase from me. If you make the group non-exclusive, and I make sure every VIP is in my phone so I can have days like that, you know, like we all get in a funk. It doesn't matter how you work this business as long as you work the business. And if you have 300 VIPs in your phone, your follow-up list, if you can get through 300 VIPs every single week, like you're a rock star. But I mean, if you have those days when every VIP is in your phone, you literally can just check in, like, how you doing with this craziness? It's not about how you doing with this craziness. Do you want to buy something? Like, hey, how are you safe? Is everything going okay? Are you working from home? And you can literally have those days and watch Netflix and just check in with people. But you know that those 300 people in your group have actually made a purchase and they're probably going to respond, rather than having a group of 1,000 people and you're kind of guessing, like, will they buy something? Won't they buy something? You know, the exclusive group allows you to just check in and have those conversations, which will allow your VIPs to know that you care about them. And when they know you care, they're 9 times more apt to purchase from you. There's Heather talking on the phone.
Hey, Julie.
Yeah.
And this is I'm not in Instagram as much as I obviously should be. When you say you scroll through stories, how do you find those?
So it's people that you follow. So if I go to Instagram right now, and here's the other, here's what I did. You can do Instagram however you want. People ask me, should I have a personal page? Should I have a business page? My business page is very strategic, meaning the pictures are edited. I know how they're going to look in the feed. I know hashtags I'm going to use. Like, they're all very strategic based on content. So that's my business page. And then I have a personal page that's private. I put it private so that I know who I'm talking to. And because I'm over 12,000 followers now on my business page, I wanted a more personal page to be able to connect with family and friends. So I created a personal page, and that's just for fun. Like last night we had a St. Patrick's Day dinner. So I just posted those pictures on there. I love Instagram that much, where I wanted a page where I didn't have to think about what I was posting. And when you're doing Instagram, that's a key piece that most people are missing. There's a few key pieces with Instagram where, one, your pictures should be edited. I mean, Instagram is about beautiful photos. So your photos should be brightened and edited and made to look like, whether you pick a preset or whatever you want to do. And then they should have a good description. And what I mean by a description is they should be providing value again. So in yesterday's picture, I posted a picture of my bathroom and a counter, like a 2-tiered tray, which I talk about tiered trays all the time on Instagram. And I said, 2020 has me shaking my head like, what in the actual heck is going on? I'm saying good morning, starting my day, but it does seem like things have gone a little crazy. Of course, we have to count on our blessings to keep moving, checking on our peaks. I mean, so lucky to have social media to stay connected. Point being is, I'm giving people either a piece of inspiration or humor or a tip or a trick or something. And I'm not doing that on my personal page. I'm just like, hey, here we are at St. Patrick's Day. That is only, people are only going to care about that if they're my family or friends, and I don't have to think about it as much. As far as stories, at the top, if you go to the little house on the bottom here and you click on stories, all of the people that you follow, their stories are in the little buttons at the top.
The ribbon.
Right.
Okay.
So you just click on one of those, like, here's my friend Dale, like there's her story popping up. And then when her story is done, I can click through and it'll go to the next person. Those are all her stories. It'll go to the next person. That there's Chloe.
Okay.
So Chloe's stories pop up. And it can be snippets, it can be video. She's got one on here and says hold and read. So you hold it down and it's going to tell me whatever she's telling me here. So there's stories. And stories, as I click through, can be pictures or video, but it's just little snippets of, and it could ask a question or a poll. It's very interactive. Ads could pop up. And I truly only follow, I literally only follow Scentsy consultants. One, if you post a marketing flyer, I usually unfollow you if I know you're not posting any other content. And I literally only post follow Scentsy consultants on my business page, that is, that are posting entertaining, inspiration, valuable content, things that I would find interesting, because you don't need to follow everybody. Follow the people that you know you're going to engage with. So out of over 12,000 followers, I only follow 1,200 people. And if I notice that it's just stuff for sale and they're not sharing their life with me, I usually unfollow them, because you can't sell me squeeze the day. So I don't want to see your marketing flyer. I want to see behind, and I get it if every now and then you're going to post that stuff, but it shouldn't be all you post, because then it's just spammy. Like, people don't want to be sold to. They want to see how you're using your own products in your life, and then they get to decide, hey, I would like that in mine too. Like, that solves a problem for me. I love lemon. I would love those things. Tell me how they work. They want that choice. So that's how you have to think of it. But if you're constantly like, here's Scentsy, here's Scentsy, here's Scentsy, this is awesome, this is like, even I'm a Scentsy consultant, I'm like, enough. Like, show me your dog, show me your cat, show me dog food for all I care. But if you're constantly trying to sell me stuff, I click out.
And that's where we actually spoke at World Tour and did one of the breakout sessions. And after that, I bet I had 25 friend requests.
Right.
And I thought, okay, do I accept them? Is it rude not to accept them? But now that's when I go to my news feed, it's all Scentsy stuff. And I don't want to see that.
Yeah, I would tell you to clean it up. No, it's not rude. I did a whole blog post on should I accept your friend request? And listen, if you're going to be friend, let's again put everything in context of real life, guys. If someone just walks up to you, doesn't say a word, and says, "You're my friend," you would go, "No, I don't freaking know you.
Yeah.
Like, you're not my friend." But if they say, "Hi, Lynn, nice to meet you. I'm a Scentsy consultant too. I've been doing this for a few years, and like, I love your stuff, and I love following you, and I saw you speak at World Tour, and I found it so inspirational, and like, what things do you do with it?" Like, then you're like, "Oh, I like this girl. Nice to meet you." Like, then you build that connection. But because I just send you a friend request, that doesn't make you send me a message. Tell me how I met you. Tell me how I know you. Tell me what you have followed me on. Tell me something where I can say, "Oh, that's awesome. That's so inspirational." But you always have to put social media in context of real life. If you wouldn't do it in person, you don't have to do it online. And again, the minute you hit confirm in a friend request, short of what if you hit unfollow, which I'll tell you guys this, I'm friends with hundreds of Scentsy consultants. Some I talk to every single day that I want to see their stuff in my feed. And some of them were just acquaintances, but I'm still friendly with them. I still know them, but I've just hit unfollow because we're not really involved. You get to choose what's in your feed. And the minute you hit confirm of all these people, you've got nothing but Scentsy life in your feed. And every day, if you're going to Facebook, it should be because you're going to start engaging with people. Of course, your Scentsy friends, you'll have a little bit of time doing that, but you also want to connect with other people, checking in. What did I say before is just as important as posting your own things is engaging with other people and finding out what they're doing and posting on their accounts. Like, "Oh, I love seeing your kid's first day of school. Wow, she's so cute. She looks just like you. Oh my gosh, your new puppy's so cute." But too many times we're only interested in our own output instead of inputting into other people's lives. And that's when the real connections happen.
And unfollow, you still they're still your friend. You just don't see everything.
Right. You can, and I've done that a lot of times. Like, we're still friends and they don't see it. So it doesn't, or if someone's super political or super negative or super judgy McJudgerson, like, I don't have time for that stuff. I love you and you can be my friend and we'll have coffee but I don't need to see, it's like religion, money, and politics doesn't need to be in my Facebook feed.
Right. Yeah, between now and November, I know there are certain people that I will unfollow.
Yeah, I mean, and you can go back in and follow people. Like, you get to choose. That's why I said, that's why my account's public. All of you can go to my page right now. And if I don't have children, so if there were, that would to me be the main thing if you don't want your kids on social media. But you get to choose. If I go to type in my post right now, I literally can click the button public, friends, or story hidden from, and you can choose. I've posted about Rob's birthday before and posted it to all of my friends, but I hid it from him. so that they could see, but he couldn't. So you get to choose how you want your privacy to be. For me, since I run my business online and I'm on Instagram and I know people are going to check my Facebook page, I want it public. Like I want them to be able to see that I went to convention, that someone thanked me for my happy mail. I want them to see that this is my business and I run it online. I don't want that stuff private. So people do it opposite. They keep it private and then only do a few things public. I say make it all public and choose what's private. You know, if you've got small kids and you don't want them on there, that's what you make private. I mean, that'd be or if there's something specific, if there's a personal something you're dealing with, then you make that private. But people should see what's going on in your world if you want them to be part of your world.
Mm-hmm.
I do have my account set to so that people can't post on my page without permission, because you know, you get a lot. I mean, I must get, no joke, 40 dachshund things a day, because a big part of my Instagram stories is all about my dachshunds laying out in the sun. Like they're my kids. So everyone that sees a raft or a wax mold or an ice cube or anything dachshund, I would have just a feed of dachshund stuff, which is hilarious. That's kind of when you know you're branding and you're sharing, when people are seeing things that make them think of you. So like you always want to think, because if you're not sharing anything besides Scentsy, what will anyone ever have to connect with you on? So like when I teach my team how to do their categories or their highlights on Instagram, I always say, make a list of everything that you do or you're interested in. It could be sticker books, it could be Christmas trees, it could be traveling, it could be whatever, but consider those your connectors. Everything outside of Scentsy. It could be public speaking, it could be motivational, it could be Weight Watchers, it could be whatever you do, but those are your little connectors that will allow you to have conversations that will lead to Scentsy. Your conversations need to be first about you and things you're interested in, and Scentsy needs to be the lead into it, not first.
Right.
It should be always second, because if you start having these conversations online or in person, if you make a big enough dive and investment into the person's life, they will ask you what you do, or what is this Scentsy thing, or what is this trip I saw you earning, or you know, what is all this? Like they'll ask, because it's human nature. If you ask about them, they're going to ask about you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's why we were talking earlier about how to have conversations, thank yous. You know, if you make it very light and not spammy, where you're saying like, thank you so much for your order. Hey, in this craziness, I was thinking of, you know, doing a few Zoom get-togethers. Do you have a few friends and we can hang out and we'll drink coffee on Zoom and I'll show you a few of the new products. And maybe you can earn a couple things, you know, free and half price. That is way less spammy and way more conversational than, hi, I don't know if you're interested, but would you like to have an online party? Ew, like I'd be like, no thanks, I don't have time.
Yeah.
But if you ask me to have a few friends on Zoom, and I'd be like, oh, I don't even know what that is, but that sounds fun, let's do it. So it's all about verbiage and learning how to have very light conversations that are conversational online, in comparison to be like, hi, I was thinking of you today, would you like to have an online party? It's 90% of the time it's going to be no. That sounds like so much work to someone, even if they're sitting at home. Like it just sounds crazy.
And Jill, how do you teach people that? Because I think this is the area that consultants overthink and overthink and overthink. Give me a script. What do I say? I want to say the right thing. Like, how do you teach people to have these light conversations? Like, it really is, you have to learn how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So many people that I know, open mouth, insert foot, they're vomiting all over people, not literally, but.
A great way, one, to do it is what Heather said earlier. I do a lot of video. If they can hear you, or voice chat. If they can hear your voice and see your face, it goes over 1,000 times better than a text, because I will tell you guys right now, 99.9% of all consultants suck at texting, because it comes out 5 times harsher. And if they're already harsh, it comes even out worse than that. Yeah. So a lot of times what I did for my team, my front line yesterday, I said, hey, you guys, like, I really make note of how I have conversations with people and I save them in my notes app. So then yesterday to my front line, I was like, hey guys, if you'd like a challenge today, send me a text saying, hey, Jilly Sue, it's blank, blank, blank. I'd love your challenge. Bring it on. So one, that ensures I have them in my phone. And two, it tells me who's invested, who's gonna, like, in this downtime, they can be doing stuff. You know, maybe 6 people asked me for the challenge. And now that allows me to check in with them today. Well, the challenge was, let me tell you guys. So here's the challenge. I think, is Brandy on here still? Yeah. She asked for it. So the challenge was, she said, hey, Jill, it's blank, I'd love a challenge today, bring it on. I said, hey girl, here's a little challenge. How about you text 5 people today and ask them to host a party for you? Let's not make this heavy. This doesn't have to be done the traditional way. And this Corona craziness, you can suggest Zoom or Facebook Live party events. Here's an example of what I might text. So to answer Heather's question, I save actual conversations that I have, and I send them actual verbiage of what they can send. So it said, hey girl, how are you? It's so crazy right now with this. And you can do this voice text too, which I highly suggest, or a video. It's so crazy in the world right now. I hope you're doing okay. Let me know. I've been trying to think of ways to have a little fun and get our minds off of all this. I'd love to grab you and a couple friends, and maybe we can hop on Zoom or whatever, and I can show you a few of the new products, or I can put together a little basket, and if you have family coming over, you can show it that way. Just something for us to have a little fun. So much, it never says online party, it never says get together. You know, I put free and half price stuff in there, but that might even be something that I take out because it just sounds a little weird. Like, I'd love to grab you a few goodies. But I teach people by sending them exactly what I would send. And a lot of times I really push them to use voice or video, because voice chat, they can hear everything and it sounds better. And it's just, you can make it light and fluffy and not so heavy and that they have to do a bunch of stuff.
That's really good, because it really is, I think, the worst part. If people overthinking, over talking, not listening, and it's really short and sweet. And
yeah, I mean, if you, again, my tip of the day is, if you wouldn't do it in person, if you wouldn't say that in person, if you wouldn't say, you know, I mean, I bet it's really rare that people just walk up to people or call them and go, you know, hey girl, would you like to have a party?
Right.
Just, they wouldn't do that. They'd be like, hey, how are the kids? How are things going? Take what you do, or even write it down. Like, if you called your best friend right now and you were like, girl, I would say, girl, you're totally having a party for me. If that's what you would say to your best friend, then say that on voice chat. Like, especially if you know, and here's the thing. I tell my people, have someone read your text. He does a lot of IT and a lot of writing back in emails, and I will read his stuff. I'm like, that sounds harsh. Someone's going to read this way. A lot of times we just write. We send, and we don't reread and kind of take a look less about the words and more about the tone, because the tone can just come across harsh, spammy, icky, that more importantly, that you're only caring about what's in it for you. You know what I mean? Like, whether it's the money you're earning or whatever, rather than if you position it like, hey, it's a little crazy right now. Let's grab a few of your friends and hop on Zoom and just chat. And you can look in my office and I can show you how I've styled stuff, or I can tell you guys what I think about these new scents or this stuff. And on top of just having a conversation, you know, just having it. A lot of times I think we box ourselves into, here is a Facebook party. Here is step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if we get more into, especially on Zoom, just getting on here like we are, like, this has become more popular where we're just getting on here and having a conversation rather than, hi guys, I'm Heather. Here's today's training. You know, today's training will be about blah, 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 and rather having a conversation back and forth. So I think rather than, you know, focusing on just asking people to host, it should just be about having conversations. And rather than just following up, it should be about checking in. Like, more importantly, if they buy something for you, just seeing if they're okay. Seeing if, you know, because so much more will come out of that. So much more long-term customers, friends will come out of that. And if you don't get a sale from them because they see that you care, because you took the time to have a conversation, you'll get referrals, or they'll join your team down the road. It just, people want to go like this to success. And it really, you guys have seen the picture. It really goes like this. You've got to go down that long winding road. Social media is the same way. I didn't get, you know, 11, 12,000 followers on Facebook and 12,000 on Instagram and all of this stuff by just, you know, people are still trying to buy followers and doing that stuff. It's not about the numbers. You can buy followers all day long. You'll get one that will buy and 10,000 that are spam. So it doesn't make, you're better off to have 500 active people on your Instagram and Facebook page than 10,000, you know, people from another country.
That's so true. My gosh, this was so good.
And no
I have a
notes.
quick question. before we are done. You're talking about stories and stuff. So you did say you had 2 Instagrams.
Mhm.
Is your so I obviously, if I do a story, I kind of connect it to my Facebook. I do have a business page for Facebook, but my Instagram, I only have one, and it's connected to my personal. What do you recommend in that? Like, should I be, because I'm kind of going like, man, I need to get my business story going also.
I was doing my, and I'll be honest with you guys, I haven't even looked at it to see how to unhook my business page and put it on my personal. I don't, for me, I don't know. There's a weird, I can't even explain it in words. There's a weird vibe on these platforms. And for some reason, for me, things are more of a green light on Instagram stories. Like, I feel like you can go in 90 different directions and talk about anything. And for some reason, it doesn't seem like it's as accepted on Facebook. So I don't think that there's a preference to business page and personal page. You again have to ask yourself, like, I got people looking at my Facebook stories when it was connected on my business page. But I don't think that I necessarily want to put, when I find something on Amazon or whatever, on my personal page. Again, my personal page, go back to the thing that I said, your personal page is your house. So would you let people in your house and say, this is for sale, this is for sale, this is for sale, this is the promo I have, this is the stuff that I have. If you're getting away from that and you're actually sharing inspiration and all kinds of stuff that your friends and your family would enjoy, I say go for it. I'm still leaning towards, like, if I was going to share again my Instagram stories, I'd probably put them on my business page because it's a whole lot of stuff. And then I might keep my personal Facebook page for its own stories, whether it's the dogs or being outside of the pool or a pool party or Rob's birthday, personal stuff. The stuff that you would almost see in like a tape. I picture those stories being a table full of family pictures of what's going on, things that are happening, things that are more close to your heart. And then it's kind of what I do on my personal Instagram stories. And you can, Brandy said, you can pick and choose too. So some stories that you put on your Instagram account, you can turn that off and on. So if it's a promo, maybe you don't want it on your page, on your Facebook pages. But if it's something like you took a trip, maybe you do want it on there. So you can decide too. I don't think it's right or wrong. I don't think that Facebook stories has picked up as much as Instagram stories, but why not? So I think it's just a personal preference. In my head, I've just kept the analogy like my house with the windows, my retail shop with stuff for sale and things like that. And then my VIP group, of course. So I really don't think there's a right or wrong. I definitely think you should be active on stories on Facebook. I just like the idea of you choosing whether it just stays on Instagram or you push it over to Facebook too. If that makes sense.
I definitely do not utilize the stories for Facebook on my business page because I don't post as much personal stuff on my regular business page, but I've been just downloading them and then putting them on my regular profile because I have so many people that aren't on both. And it's nice because I've seen the similar type of reaction I get on Instagram and replies. I'm getting that on the Facebook side too from like a whole different set of people. And it's a lot more work, but I'm trying to just keep that algorithm going with people kind of commenting and
if I
whatnot.
had to go back to, for me, if I had to, when I start doing it again, I will probably keep my settings on choosing what goes where instead of everything, because let's be honest, I have my whole surgery and stuff on my Instagram stories. There's a whole community for like explant surgery and stuff on Instagram, so it makes sense, but I wouldn't necessarily want that on my personal page with my family and friends, and I wouldn't necessarily want it on my business page, even though it shows like a vulnerability and a connection to me. My business page to me is more tips and ideas and tricks, and for some reason it's more not allowed, but like you know what I'm trying to say? It seems more like people would be looking that up on there. Like I've literally looked the hashtag explant surgery and I've seen tons of women with stories going through it. That's not something I'd search for on Facebook unless it was an explant group that I've been in. So it just depends on the content and where you kind of want to shift it. And if there's stories that you've done on your Instagram and you want, like Melissa said, you can save them, put them on your personal page, have everything uploaded to your business page. Like you can pick and choose, which I kind of like. But yes, get something on each, because I think it's amazing if I do post stuff on my personal page, which remember, a lot of those friends and family aren't going to your business page, and probably a lot aren't on Facebook. So if you can post stuff on your personal page and get them on your page, they're more likely to like see what you're doing, check stuff out. It's that peekaboo syndrome, right? So if you're using stories for some, like if you go on a trip or do whatever, I get people that will check stories more than they'll ever come to my page. So it's useful if you can get stuff on every single one.
This is off topic, but I just created a post on our group page where they can create a topic of what state they live in, like if they need anything, diapers, soap, paper towels, like that way you can see who's in your area from your team. If you somebody local can go help off or drop porch pick off or porch drop off. So that's something y'all may want to do on your team pages, is just start a thread. Like if somebody we know of Scentsy needs something.
That's awesome. You could also do that if you have a, I mean, just for family and friends, if you have an Instagram account and you have a private, like, you know, or a personal one, and you have people in your town, you could create a little poll on your stories, like, you know, do you need anything? And they could type privately, like, you know, I mean, help, friends, you know, like whatever. I mean, you could do that just for.
There was a post, I was in a page last night and somebody was out of hand soap. And so I messaged her and said, I'll be happy to send you some. She's in California, and I totally went on my website and ordered her 6 bottles of hand soap and mailed them to California from the company, might order my website. But now I'm friends with her on Facebook. We've been chatting back and forth, all because I saw somebody in a need and didn't think twice and said, I can get you some soap if that's what you need, you know?
And it's
pay attention to people's posts too. Like,
yeah, well, that's what I mean. It's taking some time instead of just scrolling. And I find myself doing it. I will scroll through Instagram and I will heart stuff. But to stop and make a comment, I'm almost like, oh God. But I really have made it at least an hour a day to just comment on people's stuff. Yeah. And they'll comment back. And so the more they see you guys, I cannot tell you the power in some of these bigger accounts. And don't do it if it's not authentic. But I mean, if someone even with 1,000 people, 2,000 people sees you commenting constantly on their stuff, they will check to see if they're followed, and they'll follow you back, and then they'll check out your account. You guys know you've done it, where you're like, oh, who's that commenting? And you click on it, and then you see their account, and that's how it works. That's how it starts picking up speed.
I think 6 other people went and liked or hearted the comment where I said, I'll send you some.
Yeah.
So other people that I'm not friends with now are noticing it. And then like she even took a selfie with her 2 twin babies and said, me and my kids, thank you. You know, so like it was a personal connection immediately made. So
when my team was, I don't know what to post, I don't know what to do, I was like, here, before I even help you with what to post, go spend 15 minutes and like and comment on other people's stuff.
Right.
Because I want to get them into the mentality. It's not just your stuff, yours. It'd be like you. It's just like, let's go back. It's just like being in person. Nobody likes someone that just constantly talks about themselves, right?
No.
So I do this, or they turn every conversation to be about them. Nobody likes that in person. So nobody likes it online either. So if you can literally, before you go to do something like, would I do this in person? You will start correcting your ways of just, like, I gotta post. That's why, honestly, you guys, I haven't scheduled a post in years, short of my group page. Like my group page is stuff that's going to pop up every night, every week, like the team meetings and this and that. But on my social media, the only thing that I do that's not even scheduled, but I use an app called Planoly on my business page for my Instagram account, so that I can see what posts are going to look like before I post them. So they're edited and ready to go, but all of my posts are in real time. So I literally just tell myself that on Instagram, I post 1 to 3 times every single day. I make sure that I have an Instagram story usually every hour, which that could be a quote, that could be, I mean, literally right now, what I can do is snap a picture of you guys and saying, like, putting text on there that says love brainstorming sessions with these rock stars or whatever. That will make my bubble at the top of Instagram move forward. That'll show people that I posted and they'll click on my stuff. So that's just in my head. And then I try to post on my business page once a day, my VIP group once a day. And then my personal page, I don't post there once a day. But those other places that I do, but it can be something as simple as that. You literally can take a picture of all of us right now and say, love brainstorming with these rock stars, and post it on your Instagram account and then tag people. Right?
Wait, let's all smile and look better. Than that one.
Everyone smile, because Heather's face was really funny. Like,
I already did mine a while ago. Not everyone was smiling. Sorry.
Okay, great.
But that's just letting people in, and then they're like, oh, and you can tag everyone, you know, if you're friends with them, and people like, oh, what's she doing? Like, how are they on Zoom right now? Like, what are they doing? People are curious. They want to know what the heck you're doing every day.
Curious or nosy?
Yeah.
Can
Or
you,
nosy.
if you already posted it, can you tag everyone? Like, can you go back and edit it?
No, once it's on stories, it
That's
goes.
what I was
yeah.
wondering. Okay. I mean, that's what I thought.
But you know what I would do is, like, you post it again and say, oops, I forgot to tag everyone, and do it again. There's no right or wrong. There's no, like,
Gotcha.
you guys don't have to worry about, like, it being wrong or something. Like, that's what's great about Instagram stories. It's just off the cuff, whatever you're doing.
No, there are
The
no
problem is getting your mind, I call it Instagram mindset, where it's really hard. One, you can get in your own head and think, who cares about my life? I have nothing worth. But you guys, I've literally posted about my razor, my shoes, what I'm eating, Home Chef, like stuff that I'm doing, my curling iron, my messy bathroom, my dogs, being in the pool. I mean, everything. That's Instagram mindset, where you're just like, I'm pretty much documenting my life. Because the minute that I show up, that's when you'll start seeing people follow you and keep your stories at the top of their feed and clicking on them. You guys, 400 to 800 people click on my stories every single day. That's a lot of eyeballs. And that could be 300 consultants. Okay. But I mean, even still, that just, the algorithm doesn't know you're a Scentsy consultant. So if it's 300 eyeballs clicking on my stories, that's 500 other eyeballs that might be seeing my stuff. Someone just, my last 8 recruits have been from Instagram, for one. And two, the girl I was like, have you tried Scentsy before? She goes, no, I just follow your stories and decided to join.
Wow.
So, I mean, if I never did stories, what were the chances that I would find her and she would join my team? If you don't show up,
So true.
your team and your customers will do the same thing. It is just hard because you're doing stuff and doing stuff and doing stuff, and you don't think to, I mean, my phone's with me all the time. I'm literally like, I'm walking out the door, snap, I'm doing this. I also do something where I have probably, I don't even know, screenshots and photos and quotes in my phone. It's a little vault of content. So whether I recreate it or recapture it or post it, or I pictures edited all ahead of time, I'll lay in bed and edit them and do whatever. Those are all ready to go. So I'm not literally like, what do I take a picture of today? I might if I change decor or do whatever.
That's me. I'm like, what do people want to really see? Like, this is crazy.
And I've told you this before, you have a great personality that's just infectious. So it doesn't, I mean, I still have in my head when Jason was chomping on the mint, which I found hilarious. And you're like,
it drives me crazy.
Which it's because guess what that is? Someone else is going to go, that drives me crazy too. And then
But
you
the
start
little
talking.
sounds or the tapping or the, God, stop.
Yeah. And then that's your connector.
We had a whole conversation about that.
There's a whole
It
community of
drives
people
me
where
nuts.
noise drives them crazy, and you can have that conversation, and then that conversation turns into being about Scentsy or a customer or someone needing hand soap. But if you never put yourself out there on the silly little things that you think don't matter, those are eyeballs that you're missing.
But that requires you to be vulnerable, right? So it's not a flaw, it's relating. Like, and that's, you have to swallow that pill, get over it, and just do it.
And you have to be okay. Like a big tip in this, you guys, is my family's from Maine. A lot are super conservative. A handful of them can't even imagine talking about getting their breast implants removed in the adversity that I went through. Like, so they're not on my business page. They've either unfollowed me or I blocked them from it. They're on my personal page. My personal page, I don't talk about that stuff, but I knew that would be a connector with people that I could help that have gone through it. And I had to get okay with that. I had to, some of them aren't on my business Instagram, but they still buy from me. Some have never bought from me ever. That hurt my heart before, because I can't imagine not supporting my family and their business. But I had to learn, like, it's just not for everybody. And I was holding myself back in fear of what they thought. Like, I knew that I could help people going through and I wasn't talking about it and then it made me feel crappy, because I was like, well, why am I caring what they think? They don't have to follow my page. That is what it is. Like,
well, I think our society has built that, right? It
Right.
has created us to really genuinely care what people think. When, listen, these people are not going to all be at our funerals when we pass and go to heaven. Like, I don't know why we hold their thoughts and opinions really. Like, if I had a life lesson or something happening or a trauma thing happening and I needed to get advice, I'm not calling these people. They're not in my list of friends that I genuinely care what they say. Like, why do I really care if they think this boob is bigger than this boob, big difference, or this eye is bigger than this eye? You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody cares about that. Every woman has one boob bigger than the other. Mine just happens to be my left. It's okay. Like, it is what it is. And everybody has this problem. It's not,
and that's, for a new consultant, or for those of you that are struggling with no, or someone, oh, you're doing one of those businesses, like, they're not your maker. They're not your judgment. Like, you just have to, if you are happy. And I had to get past, I was only, and in my worst of times, happy when I was doing Scentsy. I've told the story a million times. I started another direct sales business, probably back in 2012, because I want to prove to everyone that told me social media didn't work that I could build a blog and build my social media and get a group. So that's literally why I joined Origami Owl. I hated the product. I hated the company. There was nothing that I liked about it, but I felt like I had to prove a point. I built a blog, did the social media, did everything online, never had a party. In 2 months, had 1,200 people on my team, was answering all these questions, was making way more money than I did with Scentsy, but I was miserable. I hated every aspect of it. And I said to myself, why am I doing double team calls, double everything, doing all of the things just to prove to all these people that don't matter that social media works? Like, here we are, everyone using Zoom and social media. So I killed myself. I mean, I was still making more money with that company and dropped that company, because when you always step back and say, when am I the most happy? That'll always lead you to the right direction, whether that's a platform you should be on, whether that's a business you've started, whether that's a relationship you're in. If you feel stress or just anxiety from dealing with people, companies, businesses, actions, whatever, and you're honest with yourself, you're always going to be led down the right path. You're always going to, so I mean, it wasn't even about the money. I hurt myself dropping that company. But the minute I started getting close to Superstar Director, I had so much respect for Heidi and Orville and all the other Superstar Directors. I didn't want them thinking that I had another business, and I didn't want to be the direct sales lady. I wanted to be the Scentsy Superstar Director. And the minute I did that, my Scentsy business skyrocketed, because there was no confusion with my team. Remember, go back to the thing of the day, your team will do what you do. So if you're joining other companies or doing all of this stuff and you're a director, whatever, people were like, well, if she's doing it, I can do it too. They will do what you do. And that's what it drove a wedge in my team. My team was confused. My customers were confused. They didn't know what the hell I sold anymore. And the minute I was like, Rob said to me, if money wasn't a factor, what would you be doing? And I said, I'd be focused on my Scentsy business. He said, then do that. And I was lucky enough to be able in the position to do that. But it was a long journey of me trying to prove things to people that didn't matter. And you have to let that go, or figure out the way that you can maneuver it. For me, it's having a personal Instagram account and having a private Instagram account. And those that support me can be on both, and those that don't can just be on my personal page.
So true. Not that this is an aha moment for everyone, but it was for me, and I don't know why. So I was just writing a thank you card, and I didn't have labels made for my felt samples. So I just washi taped it and told them in my handwriting what it was.
That's so cute, though.
I mean, why have I never done this in 10 years of Scentsy?
I know. And handwriting is so much better than a label.
Right. So you better believe everyone's getting a handwritten. Okay, it says Hallmark, so it looks like I went and spent $3.99 on the card, but Dollar Tree 2 for $1.
You need to post a picture of that in your groups and stuff.
Yeah, so they really feel like, it is special order mail thank you is happening today. I am really making these people see that I am grateful for them supporting right now.
And I will say this on social media too, guys. You know, a lot of people fear going live or doing all that stuff. You can literally turn your phone this way. And like, I think the last one was on our fantasy collection, and I did a quick 2-minute video of what I thought of each scent, posted that with a picture of me with the fantasy collection. So it was a picture of me and then video of me talking. And I posted that in my VIP group, and that serves just as much as the same purpose. If you're not at the point where you feel comfortable going live yet, which I know, you know, people are like, go live, go live, go live. If you're introvert, scared to death, whatever, like start with baby steps. Post a picture of yourself, do a little 1-minute video of what you think of the product, post it in your VIP group. That's just as powerful because it's still your voice, it's still a picture of you, and it's still a video. Start there. There's no right or wrong. Just take one baby step forward. And I promise you, when you get over those little baby steps when it comes to online marketing, eventually you'll look back and go, wow, like look how far I've come. Now I can go live, or now I can do a team call, or now I can do whatever. There's tons of people that haven't hit director that actually hold themselves back because they can't imagine going live on their team page. We have to start somewhere.
Well, and have you ever met a person that started something, okay, you started something and you didn't finish it, right? They're still in the same spot where they started.
Yep.
If you're doing a little bit gradually, whether that's me walking to my mailbox, or then I change it to the pond, or then I do 1 lap to 2 laps to 3 laps, eventually I'm going to lose weight, right? Because I'm doing a little bit more. It's becoming more comfortable. It's the same with your social media. If you want to get better and go live and do that, it's exactly what she's saying. Like, you have to be consistent, keep improving, and to do a little bit more in order to get better. That's in anything of your business.
And what's funny is if you already have customers that are coming to you, I have people like, I don't like my face, I don't like my voice, I don't like this. Guess what? It's not about you. They don't care what you look like or what you sound like. They care about what's coming out of your mouth. So, I mean, sounds harsh, but you've got to get over yourself where you think that people are so consumed. Yes, we all, you know, want to look our best or be our best, but you know, I have a teammate that was like, I don't go live because I can't stand my voice. She has a New York accent. I go, and guess what? That's one of the things that I freaking love. I could listen to you all day. So we're so caught up in what we don't like about ourselves. 9 times out of 10, it's what people love about us.
Right.
And you have to be willing to inspire people that like show people, if I can do this and I hate how I look or I sound or how I dress or I mean, people have told me I don't go live because I don't have a cute background like you. Girl, hang a sheet up on the wall. Like literally there's your background. I mean, put a pink sheet up, grab something from Amazon. There's tons of, I have them in my thing. There's tons of those tapestries that look like bricks or wood or whatever. They're like $10.
Yeah.
Tack that up, put your video camera up. There's your background. That's it. Like it's especially in this time where we're working from home and not making these conversations. Social media is your best friend, but you have to put your step. You have to put a
this
foot
is still
forward.
the lady we're having conversations. Now we're talking about age and how I don't look old enough to have a 20-year-old. Like, this is a genuine conversation happening. Like, this is proof of exactly what you're talking about, Jill. Like, she's still messaging me.
And if you take the time to have those conversations, she'll be a customer or join
For
your
life,
team for life.
and refer me.
For life.
Yeah. That's so crazy. Yeah, I think the day, was it last week or the week before, I posted on my Instagram story where my crown fell out in my hand. Like, hello, I have more teeth problems. I always tell people, oh, I got to be careful eating that because of my fake teeth. It's not that I have dentures. I call them fake teeth, but I have veneers because I have to be very careful, and they always chip before a long trip. It always happens. One time it was this tooth right before we went out overseas, and I called my dentist. I'm like, I have a front tooth. It is chipped. My veneer is chipped. What the heck do I do? So I have the worst teeth ever. So that's something that I did. My parents got me veneers in high school because I had no enamel on my teeth when I was born. And so my mom got me veneers on the top. So I wanted boobies, but when I made Superstar Director, instead of getting boobies, I said, you know what? I'm going to get my veneers redone. And instead of me getting like a yellow tint to match my bottom like they were, I go, I'm going to do top and bottom so I can go whiter, not wider, whiter teeth. So I treated myself. So that's what I did when I promoted a Superstar Director is I bought fake teeth that you have to redo every 10 years, and it's very expensive to fix. So if nothing's wrong with your teeth, I would say don't do it. But it makes me very happy. That was my thing. But my smile has always been one of those things where I didn't like my teeth. I would hide it growing up. And then, you know, it changed. After I got my veneers in high school, it was way better. I loved it. I love to smile then, you know? So it is crazy how there are things that do hold us back so much. Like it really is, it's so sad because it's somebody's personality that we're going to love, not their teeth. Like I'm not going to be best friends with their teeth.
Right.
It's who they are on the inside. So it's especially in times like this, it really just makes you appreciate a real person and helping people and loving them for who they are. And if you can be vulnerable and be willing to help others in this time, it comes back full circle. But you've got to be vulnerable and show it on social media. That's the thing.
So before this recording gets a million years long, do you guys have any other final social media questions? I covered like a lot. Like, I mean, I'm sure we can help with like, if people get stuck on Rebrandly, like, we'll figure that all out. It walks you right through, but it can be a tad confusing.
So when they get their Rebrandly, if they're buying their domain name from GoDaddy or whatever company, they cannot use the word Scentsy in it or.
Right. And that's the same on you guys' Instagram accounts. Like I see tons of people where it says like Tanya Scentsy. Like your account no account, unless it says your name and Scentsy Independent Consultant, which you can't have that on Instagram, but on your Facebook page, it can't be like Jilly Sue Scentsy as your Instagram account.
You don't own the rights to use the word Scentsy ever in any of your pages. Like you don't work for corporate. You are a Scentsy Independent Consultant. So I just want to stress that enough. Like when you are buying your domains, setting up your pages, you don't have the right to use that. And
if you can actually Rebrandly, if you're starting from the beginning, it has a domain area too. So you could actually buy everything from, you can see if it's available. I've always used GoDaddy. All of my accounts are on GoDaddy. So I just kept using that. But if you've never done this before, like if you, let me just check something.
Yeah, good to know.
Yeah, like I just typed in Brandy's name, like brandynelson.com is available. Or
I could buy it.
Or .co for the .co's are more expensive, but if you don't have a blog or any other website, just get the .com. But you can purchase that. You can do it right through Rebrandly if you don't use GoDaddy.
Is that a goat?
Yeah, she's got a farm. Goats and pigs.
Real life goat.
Yeah, no doubt. Like I've told her to bring me a pig like every year. I said, if you really love me, she's got baby goats, baby pigs. Like it's no joke. Yeah.
This is my new bottle baby that we rescued.
Bottle feeding him.
Yeah.
Oh my, where is Rachel? Rachel would want to be on here.
How cute is that, right?
Oh.
Like that would be, I said, you need to have that all over Instagram stories. Like, and remember when you guys do an Instagram story, you can put hashtags on there. So people are searching hashtags on Instagram stories. So she could put in baby goats, goats just born, whatever. And people searching that could find her.
Yeah, I do goats of Instagram, things like that. And we just had baby pigs. So I've been posting a bunch of pictures of the baby pigs too.
You should buy the domain Scented Goats.
Now that would be cute.
I mean, scentedgoatlady.com.
Yeah.
She had baby pigs, like little baby ones.
Scented Farmer. Oh, that should be Jody. Scented Farmer for Jody Farmer.
I want to rebrand because Wigless with Brandy's just kind of eh.
But it has your name. Like, I like the idea of you guys' names.
Good, because then they remember your name, remember you, and for sure.
Yeah.
My last name was so hard before the Supreme Court.
Could be Farmer Brandy.
I had my name. I never knew what Gorsuch was. And people were like, what?
FarmerBrandy.com is available too.
Nice.
That's cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because that's a connector and her name.
Well, yeah.
Yep.
You'll connect immediately with any farmers.
Yeah, because I'd be like, what the heck is that? Or
Scented Christmas.
baby farm animals, like.
Yeah, so
baby farm animals.
Scented Ho for ho ho ho. That could be mine. Scented Ho.
Oh my gosh, it could be yours.
Power.
HeatherHo.com.
Oh, I did all kinds of business.
You will.
I have my name already from my blog because I never wanted to switch it over. That's why I had to come up with something different because I already have so much SEO built into everything from my blog from Melissa Dell. So I just try to tack that onto everything.
Yeah, it killed me. I had Wickless Elite for the first 5 years, and when I put everything into Jilly Sue, like it killed me. It's starting to pick back up now because I just actually redid my whole blog, but I lost a lot of SEO, but it is what it is. I didn't want to box myself in with anything Wickless, and Jilly Sue is way more brandable. So, and then I was able to use my blog as not a place where I was selling stuff, that's what it was before, more so a place where I could tell my stories. Do we want to stop the recording on this one?
Yes, let me stop that. All right.